Well, howdy, 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 and welcome back once again to the Withlacoochee River Report, where you're always highly offended by my compelling rhetoric. As you can see, I'm getting the bridge in on the low line, as well as getting some other things done here that are of great importance. I had to realign the track completely so that the curve coming down on the low line there on the downgrade wasn't so bad, wasn't so severe. One of the things I was having problems with right in the throw of this curve here was I kept having cars derailing. Whether I was pushing them or pulling them, it didn't matter. It would just derail. So I've since eased out the curve a little bit. It's no longer down to a sharpness of 18-inch radius. It's probably closer to about 22 or even 26-inch radius now. It's just a good guesstimation. As you can see, the featured locomotive this week is a old River Rossi AHM Berkshire. One of the earliest models from the 1970s. And of course one of their most well-detailed models of that era. I did a little bit of custom work on it by adding some weights to it. And now of course it'll pull more than just its own tender up a hill. I can actually pull a train with it now. It's not a bad runner. Get her weathered up a little bit, she'll look okay. Of course, I can say the same for almost all of my steam engines. As I said earlier, you can see that I'm getting the bridge in. I'm still working on the track. I seem to have run out of what we call rail joiners. So and I mean I am completely out of rail joiners. I couldn't believe it. Naturally, Dana's on vacation. He just got married, so he's on vacation for a couple of weeks. And that kind of messes me up because now I have no place to go spend the money I don't have. Oh well, he'll be back soon enough, and hopefully that government nonsense check that we supposedly got coming will be here by that time. As you can see, I've decided to throw a switch in here, and what I'm going to do is this is how I'm going to run engines over to the engine servicing facility. I figure I'll put a short board in here. You know, we'll bring this track off of here and run it on right up to the turntable. And that's probably where I'll mount the water tower and the coaling tower as well. And maybe even stick an ash pit in there somewhere. And that'll complete the that'll start getting the engine servicing done and the engine facilities ready to go. I'll probably have to put in a diesel fuel oil system as well, since I will also be running diesels. It'll probably help to do that. I plan on in the next few weeks getting this roundhouse finished up and pretty much ready to put into the layout on a little bit more permanent basis. I've got my other roundhouse down here, my old one. I'm going to probably end up putting it on eBay. Yes, I do love one of my all-time favorite steam locomotives. I originally planned to have most of this stuff that I'm working on now done, pretty much within the last few weeks. However, I've been nursing a toothache. And again, that's why I was waiting for some of that stimulus money to come in so that I could at least get that taken care of. Well, I ended up having to spend the bulk of this last paycheck right there at the dentist, getting a tooth pulled and getting, it was totally abscessed, so it was quite painful. Even with being numbed up, everything was very painful the way that he had to handle it this time. So, the work on the layout hasn't progressed much in the last couple of weeks. You'll notice also that the yard has been somewhat scenic. I don't plan on keeping the Ford Econoline on the railroad. It is an HO Econoline, but I don't really model that era. I'm gonna get me maybe one of those Athearn panel trucks and put it in there. It'll look a little bit more plausible for the type of trains I run. You can see I started ballasting and adding scenery in here as well, and you can see that there's a good chunk of the railroad that's already gotten some scenery in. It's already looking so much better than it did before. Yeah, I know I've got some construction mess over here. Believe it or not, that doesn't hurt the foam scenery a bit. If it does, it's pretty easily repairable. Next plan for scenery is going to be up there toward the back on this side, and then along into that corner. I'm going to get away from the foam a little bit, the styrofoam a little bit. I'm going to start using some what we call rigid wrap, which is basically plaster gauze. Works a little bit better. It gives you a little bit more freedom of flow than this polystyrene foam does. Anyway, that's really all for this time. Until next time, happy railroading.